Hey guys, Mark here from RumbleCloudRC.com. Today I want to show you the Walkera Lady V2. This costs probably right around 50 bucks. Ready to fly. Comes with everything but the batteries for the transmitter. It takes 4 AA batteries. It's a great trainer if you're learning. It's great for learning stick control on it, and you can fly it around. Don't have to worry about crashing. It's extremely resilient. If you're intermediate and let's say you're having problems with nose in, this is a perfect trainer for learning your nose in, so that way you're not worried about if you mess up and it hits the ground, crashing it and breaking it into little pieces. You can just pick it right back up and fly it again. What it all comes with is the Lady Bird, of course, a battery, a USB type charger. How this works is you plug this into your computer, you plug your battery into, it's a dual charger so you can plug two at the same time, plug your battery into it. This little red light here should turn red. That means it's in charge mode. When that is done charging, that light will go off. Comes with props and a Devo floor. This doesn't come with any instructions whatsoever, so there's no screen on here either letting you know where your trims are at. So I'm going to try to show you where your trims are at on that. The things I recommend that you get for extra parts for it is another frame, a clockwise and counterclockwise motor for it, one each, at least one more battery, if not a few more, and get an extra set of props. Okay, before we do anything, first what you have to do is make sure that you charge the battery for the bird. Then you put your batteries inside the transmitter. When you're done doing that, you want to try to find your trims. So make sure that your throttle stick is all the way down, because if it's not and you try to turn it on, it won't come on right, it won't bind right. So you got to make sure it's down all the way. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you on the throttle trim first where it's at, and how to do that is first, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to push the trim all the way down until I hear a beep. Okay, I heard that beep. Now what that means, either one or two things. It means that it's either all the way down or it's in the center of trim. Now, in order for the way for me to find out which way, where it's at, either the bottom or center trim, is I push it down again, and if I don't get any sound at all, then that means it's all the way down. If it keeps making the trim beep sounds, then that means that that was centered and I'm still going down with it. So I'll push it down and no noise. So that means that the trim on the throttle is all the way down. On the throttle is the only exception, is the one that you don't want centered, and you want that one actually all the way down. So make sure your trim on your throttle is all the way down. Okay, now I'm going to try the rudder. I'm going to go left rudder with this and wait for a beep. Okay, I got a beep there, so I'm going to go left with it again, and there's no sound. So that means that my rudder is all the way to the left. So now I'm going to bring it to the right till I hear the beep. Okay, now that means that my rudder is now center trim. That means I can go left or right with it, and it's centered. We'll do the same with the elevator. The elevator, I'll go all the way up with that. Okay, and I'll go up again. That elevator trim is all the way up now. So now to find center, I go back down with it. And there's the beep. That means that my elevator is now center trim. Try it with the ailerons. I will go to the left. Go to the left again. Okay, now that I got beeping sounds from that, that means that that was centered. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it back to the right. So I get the beeping sound, and now everything's centered. It's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. Then take the Lady Bird here, take the canopy off. There's a little LED light right there. That's your binding light. Now what it should do when I try to bind this up is I'm going to go ahead, turn on the transmitter first, making sure the throttle is all the way down, and I'm going to go ahead and plug the bird in. After you plug the bird in, set the bird on a level ground and don't move it around, because if you do, if it's not sitting on a level ground or you're moving it around while it's trying to bind, then it'll confuse the gyros and it won't fly right. Okay, what happens first is when this is binding and you plug the bird in, the light, the little red LED light there that is solid now, what it does when you first plug it in is it flashes about like this for about 4 times. Then it turns solid red. Then you'll hear this transmitter beep one more time. That's the last time that will beep. Then this will flash again like 4 more times and then turn red. What that red light means that it's bound and ready to fly. Now go ahead and do the throttle on there. Okay, now if you want to program this board into stunt mode, you have to do that via the transmitter. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So what you do is you unplug the bird with the transmitter still on. Now after you unplug the bird, then you take your throttle and you put the throttle all the way up to the top. Then you plug your bird back in. You don't have to worry about it spooling back up while that's up all the way when you plug it in, because it's got that fail-safe in it to prevent it from doing that. So I plug it in, set it down on the level ground, don't mess with it. Wait for it to do its thing. I'll redo it here. Red light flashing a couple times. Okay, now it's turning red and green intermittently. That means it's ready to be programmed. Okay, put the bird back down. Take your transmitter and take your elevator stick and move it up and down several times for about 6 or 7 times till the little LED light there turns green. So go ahead and do that. Go up and down. Okay, it's green. What that means, it is now in stunt mode. The board is programmed, and to save it into the board, you take your throttle and you put your stick all the way down. Now it's ready to fly. It's saved in there now, so every time you unplug your bird or rebind it with the transmitter, it's always going to come on in the stunt mode with that green light. Okay, now if you're wanting to fly indoors and you're not really all that good at flying, you don't really want this in stunt mode, so you want to put it back into normal mode. You can do that simply by taking the transmitter and this DR button right here. You notice that the red light on the transmitter is just a steady red light? Well, that means it's stunt mode. So when you push the button, it should flash. And when it's flashing, that means it's in normal mode. And that you can go ahead and fly around inside your house, and it will make the bird a lot more docile when you're flying it. Now, if you want to take it back outside and you want to do some stunts with it or whatever, and you want it to be more agile, then you want to put it back in stunt mode. Then you just take it, push the DR button again, and it flashes, or it goes to a solid red light, and that means that it is back in stunt mode. Okay, that's pretty much all I have. If you have any questions, come by and visit us on rumblecloudrc.com, and we'd be happy to have you. Have a nice day.